mean, in general, not even just with women, but like in general, in my social interactions and everything, like I just want to be a more fun guy. So,
Yeah, I do think
uh,
it is a good crutch I mean, just the first thing, it is good to watch comedy. That definitely helps. Watching stand-up comedy, especially as a habit, just to um, get an idea of what makes people witty and how to be witty. But it's also a good idea to use some cheesy pickup lines or like crutches to make it a habit to do it in conversation. Because otherwise, how do you like actually practice that? Right? It's a vague idea.
yeah,
And using cheesy pickup lines, they're not the most effective, but the thing is, if your delivery is good enough, you should be able to get pretty good results with them. I mean, I've been making videos lately, like with cheesy pickup lines. One where I'm
mhm,
like, "You're hot, come home with me." Not the best pickup line, but I actually got like, four numbers from doing that within like 8 approaches. So half the girls I approached, I got their number, and I didn't get the infield of it, sadly, but I actually pulled a girl doing that opener. With that opener, I was able to pull. And the other good thing about it is it forces you to be more playful and lighthearted and to free associate. But it also, when you do a cheesy pickup line, it teaches you frame control because they're going to challenge the frame you're setting. You're setting a very like, I'm hitting on you and you should like me, because cheesy pickup lines are usually very kind of arrogant and cocky. So they're going to challenge the frame, and it gets you to practice holding the frame even when you get some resistance to it, even when they're like, no, you're not, or like they tease you back. And if you hold the frame, then the interaction can actually be really good. So not only can it get solid results, but it also forces you to learn how to be playful and how to do frame control. And frame control is one of the most important concepts in pickup. So it's kind of a crutch. It's not something I would say you do permanently and like as your main way of approaching, but it's a good exercise to do occasionally. And if you're kind of like feel like you're going through the motions, like you're in a rut and you're doing the same thing, switching up the way you approach can be useful. Like recently, I started going more direct in nightclubs just because I was getting kind of bored of the way I was approaching. It was starting to feel like I was going through the motions. So I'm just going like ultra direct for a while, just because it gets me more engaged, because it's changing things up, right? And that can be useful as well. Because game is not just about being impressive, like saying something interesting to the girl. It's making yourself engaged, and then that goes from you to the girl, right? That transfers from you to the girl. So I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I think that can definitely be useful and is something worth doing occasionally, especially if you're someone who takes yourself a little bit more seriously, or it's hard for you to be like playful and silly and goofy, because girls love that energy. If you match playfulness with a little bit of sexual intent, you're pretty much like extremely attractive to women. That's the combination. Russell Brand's a great example. Like, he's very sexual, but he's also super uh, you know, playful and lighthearted and funny the way he does it. It's not serious. And that's why he's considered one of the greatest like seducers probably alive. The self-judgmental part of your brain basically blocks your ability to be witty and funny and playful and all those things. It's like there is a natural charm there. So it's getting rid of what's blocking it is probably the biggest thing. So once I was going out like 4 or 5 times a week, going out a lot consistently, getting good at building momentum, just like also talking to girls that I'm not attracted to really helped. Because if I'm talking to also the girls I'm not attracted to, I have nothing to gain from it in terms of a goal. Right. I don't have like, oh, I don't want to
Mhm.
sleep with her. So I can't focus on that goal. I have to focus on, how do I just have a good interaction? How do I make her day better, my day better? How do I just connect emotionally without getting anything that's like substantive, or getting something practical out of it, right? So it teaches
Yeah.
you, forces you to learn that. So that also helps. And also like talking to guys, talking to everyone, practicing free association, right? Like, I have two free association exercises in my book. One is to say a word and then associate it with another word that has a positive or negative emotional connotation, right? So it could be Amy Schumer,
Mhm.
uh, overweight. That would have a controversial implication, right? That has an emotional spike to it. Overweight
Right.
could be America. America could be what would something controversial with
Donald Trump.
America be?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Yeah.
Trump could be like Shrek. Just something that has like gives you an
Mhm.
emotional spike when you think of it, and so you're practicing by doing that, going to an emotional direction as opposed to going a logical direction. And then the other one is just to say a sentence and then associate another sentence with the previous one, right? So you say any sentence, just say a
Mhm.
sentence.
I like to go to the mall.
All right, I like to
then
go to
I
the mall.
associate that with like things
The
from
mall kicked me out today because my game was too too good, and you know, uh, game works better than online dating, or in-person game works better than online dating, because you're not competing against 80,000 men for each girl that you talk to. And then so like you take one word, right? That was game, and then you associate that one word by making another sentence starting with that word. So that exercise can help you practice free association as well, because being funny in an interaction is less about specific techniques, although that can help as a crutch, but really it's about just being able to free associate, just being able to react to what they're saying in a clever, kind of creative way.
Yeah.
Also, I'd watch interviews by Conan O'Brien, Russell Brand. Those two examples are really good. Watch their interviews. And interviews are even better in a way than stand-up, because an interview is actual conversation that's completely like off the cuff, right? It's not something that's pre-scripted. So you see how it works and how it looks like in someone who's good at it. So that would be another good example. And then the last thing you can use templates to add an emotional spike. So whenever you say, instead of just saying like, you're cute, you can say, you're actually kind of cute. Just add actually, right? Or you're actually interesting. Or you can literally say to anything they say, you can just say, I hate that. And if you say it in a playful sounding way, it'll likely get a good reaction. So if they say they're from LA, I hate LA. Just say, I hate LA. And if you say it in a playful kind of way, they're either going to laugh or they're going to like be curious. And then if you say it in a way that sounds judgmental, genuinely judgmental, then they're probably going to be like, well, screw you.